We are pressing further into this detox, now coming into week 3. You just finished a time of prayer. And I know some people kind of maybe think like, hey, do I have to do it in the length of the video or longer? We've created those videos for the time of prayer with that blank space at the end, just to kind of give you a little bit of a guide to ensure that we're spending some time in that and kind of give you something to keep you focused. Indeed, go well beyond it. But for sure, don't shorten it any less than what that video is. They go anywhere from 3 to 7 or 8 minutes each in that kind of time with just the music playing. The reason for that is because many times if I was to tell you right now and I just said, all right, just sit still and quiet for 60 seconds, just 1 minute, it would feel like an eternity, and your mind would actually already run to be wondering how long it has been. And so we created those videos like that at the end of the time of prayer there, and even in the reflection times, to be able to give space that says, all right, when the video's over, this is over, unless I need to continue on or feel led to continue on, which indeed, please do. And so utilize that time to allow your mind to sink fully into the thought of prayer that we're doing. If you've noticed in those times of prayer, what we've been doing is we've been lining up kind of what we're praying for specifically in that week and the action behind prayer and the mode or style of prayer. We've been doing it to give you some new tools. Some of you maybe have only experienced prayer in kind of a one-dimensional, one way of I just do it in a large group at the table, or I just do it when I need something. And so these different styles of template prayer and contemplative prayer, the thought prayers and the repetition prayers, and these differing things that you're doing are just simply tools to allow you to kind of experience it in a different way, kind of like a conversation with someone. There's lots of different styles of conversation, right? You can have that conversation that's deep and meaningful, setting over a table, over a meal. You can have that kind of fun, just enjoyment conversation. And indeed, even when there's more people involved, the conversation shifts even more. And so we're giving you tools to kind of broaden and deepen the manners that you can pray in and what to pray for. And if you notice that week 1 was all about wisdom and guidance, because that was setting the scene, as Proverbs 4 says, wisdom is the principal thing. And then you'll notice last week it was all about that focus and that rest and focusing in Him with removing social media. You know, many of us probably had a sense of anxiety of what's going on in the world. I can't keep up with things, and just that kind of tendency to want to keep clicking. And I hope all of us are finding that there's such more rest and peace in that replacement conversation with God. And this week, as we're edging further in, giving you more tools in those times of prayer. This week, we're pressing forward into the 3rd week, which is the midpoint of this journey, which is when some of us will grow weary in our well-doing, as Scripture says. Some of us may indeed kind of think like, I got to get back to this was kind of fun for a moment. I encourage you, keep pressing in on this, because that is where really the true worship comes in, is when we engage our heart and our mind into pressing forward into this. To practice the way of Jesus, or to call ourselves Christ followers or a Christian, is to follow the very manner of life that He lived. And the rhythm and the pattern that Jesus lived in was in deep solitude, in deep community, in deep times of fasting and feasting, which we're going to be talking about. And right now we're in a deep time of fasting, removing the natural things and not just leaving it there, but then replacing all that space, all that time, all that desire with the things of God, with conversations to God, with God, and about God. Understanding Christ and His manner, because to claim Christ following is to say Jesus really knew how to live and live well. And so I will follow in His very pattern, in His very mannerisms, His way of life, and I will apply that into my life. That's what this journey is here to do as we press towards it. As we press towards this, by the end of this journey, you are going to see things of a radical new rhythm in life. And I challenge you to continue to think about how removing of this and replacing is going to open the entire conversation for your family, for you, to the things of God. So keep pressing forward.